Thanks for joining me for another video. This is a comparison of the Axiom to the ProMotion. Both balls are drilled 5x5 by 2.5. My righty ProMotion was 5x5 by 3, so virtually the same thing. It just puts the pin a smidge higher up and further away from my fingers. My span's a little longer lefty, and with virtually the same pat measurements as well, a 3-inch pin buffer would be drilling closer to the pin than I'd like. Like the other comparisons, not spending too much time on the house shot, there's just too much hook, especially right out of the box. The deeper on the lane footage looked good with the Axiom. I think it was more my lack of sharpness than that the ball was super crazy strong. It is really strong, but the comparisons are meant to help you develop a relationship with new balls to the equipment that you already have. For example, if an idle is too strong for you, the Axiom will be too, but if you can throw an idle, you'll definitely be able to throw an Axiom despite both obviously being too strong for me on this condition. Moving to the ProMotion, obviously right out of the box, it's going to be really strong for me on this side of the lane as well. Given the history I have with this ball, I'm really excited to get 50 or so games on it. I think it's going to be amazing by then with some lane shine. It's definitely rounder than the Axiom, but like the Idle and the Idle Pro that we'll see in a later comparison, it still has a fair amount of pop down lane. This is more an attribute of the left side. Friction response is sharper on this side, and the back ends here are quicker than most to begin with. Unlike the other three balls though, the ProMotion still has that super arcing, really blendy shape to it. It looks like it's going to rev up and just go, and then it settles into the pocket. If you're left-handed and don't have a ProMotion, I don't know what you're doing with your life, because this for me is an ideal and important reaction on this side of the lane, much the way the IQ Tour Solid is, which we'll also see in a later comparison. Obviously not everyone is going to match up with it. I can already hear the lefties watching the video starting to click away on the keyboard in response to disagree, but the ProMotion is exceptional at controlling angles and your shape down lane. Back to the Axiom on the 2019 Nationals DNS shot. Again, I'm still a little tentative getting back into it, but this is a good illustration of what it'll do for the more average bowler instead of seeing everything with a bunch of revs like my righty videos. Revs will cover a lot of things up, especially on the right side, and it can make the reaction differences between balls kind of muddy. I've heard several times, and I completely agree, that it's easier to see the differences from ball to ball when Angel throws them versus when I throw them. Now that I'm starting to watch a lot of lefty video, being that I have a lower rev rate, I'm seeing the ball-to-ball differences in my own reaction quite a bit more clearly. I could always feel the differences on the right side, but sometimes that doesn't quite translate to video, and it feels pretty dumb saying this ball does this and that ball does that while you watch them do virtually the same thing on the screen. Those of you that have been with me for a while, I think have learned that you can trust my descriptions even if it's not crystal clear on video, but I think it'll be illustrated a bit better now, even if adjusting to watching the ball from a different side is a little tricky. Going to the ProMotion, it's pretty dreamy over here, and this is why I say if you're a lefty Storm fan, you should take a hard look at this one. The balance of lane blending and enough hook and enough pocket presence is pretty impressive. I've heard it all when it comes to different complaints, but when you really understand this cover, I wouldn't be caught anywhere without one. I won't go anywhere righty without my PM in the bag, and it's a lock for my lefty bag too. It's just an important reaction. The cover's strong enough that I can feel more comfortable getting it closer to the gutter. That's always been a tough adjustment because getting it to 4 on the right side starts getting uncomfortable, but that's right in the middle of the track for a lefty. However, this ball helps me out there. It's also smooth enough that I can stay more direct and actually get a bit of extra forgiveness in the middle. That's in short supply on the left side of the lane, of course, but I get about as much area as I'm going to get on this side with the ProMotion. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily uploads. The Axiom releases on March 20th. Thanks for watching.